And all his friends wondered why I never posted him. And I said to him once, probably shouldn't have said this, if I posted you, I'd lose 2,000 followers.
I think if a girl doesn't want to commit, it's because she feels she can do better.
But no, why wouldn't men want to commit?
They would say less women are girlfriend material nowadays.
If a woman is like desired by a lot of men, would that attract a man or not really?
No, it doesn't really make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference.
Guys know that some guys will literally fuck anything. Yo guys, welcome back to another episode on my channel. I'm sitting in this spot, which means I've got a great conversation lined up for you today. You know, on this channel, we love to talk about all things dating, relationships, and seeing what we can do to attract the kind of person we want. So without further ado, please welcome Kate to the show. Kate, welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you've come far today. You've come far today for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I live in like Birmingham and Coventry, so a bit of away from London, but always love to come to London. So
That's it. And that technically counts as Midlands, because to us Londoners, we just think that's North, but it's actually a Midlands.
Yeah, it's the West Midlands, right in the centre of England. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, listen, I love to jump straight in, right? So first, tell us your age or your age range, asking a lady her age, and something a guy should know about you if he wants to take you on a date.
Okay, I am 30 years old. So I turned 30, I was about to say recently, but it was last year.
Okay.
Something a guy should know about me if they were to take me on a date would be I just love intelligence. So that is the most important thing to me usually, intelligence.
Okay, what kind of intelligence though? Because there's emotional intelligence, there's social intelligence, there's academic. So what kind of intelligence are you talking about?
I would probably say academic. Emotional intelligence is good as well. I would say I'm an emotion-driven person, and I wish I was a logic-driven person, but I'm just not. So I always go for a man who is a logic-driven person. And if they're like really good at math, I really like that as well.
If he's good at numbers.
Good with numbers, a numbers guy. Someone who's just really got their head screwed on. That's
yeah, of course. Is that because you're really good with words and stuff? So it's like the compliment or what?
Yeah, that could be a way to say it. I just know that there's things that I struggle in life with, like math, and I need someone there if I need help with like adding some numbers up.
She needs an accountant, guys.
Someone to help me on Excel. Yeah.
Yeah. Create that spreadsheet.
So I can just ask like the man.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
And you can help him out. How would you describe the dating landscape in 3 words today?
The dating landscape.
Yeah.
Haven't really been in it in a long time. I think people use these apps a lot of the time. Not sure how I feel about that. Not really ever used them. As it goes, no, I did use one once, Bumble. I actually love that because you could like, I think messaging a guy first is quite interesting. But I originally went on there like years ago, and I didn't know that you had to speak first as a woman. So I matched with people, and no one messaged me. And I was like, "Are you serious?
Like, what the hell's going on?"
This is when I was like, this is like years ago. So I deleted it, and then someone told me about it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
You didn't know. You're like, that's on you.
Yeah. So the whole like, I guess a lot of people just meet via like dating apps now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like you can just swipe and get like a better option. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Years ago, I used to go on those websites like Match.com or Plenty of Fish. You'd make like a whole profile.
Yeah. Did you use that?
Yeah,
like,
I used the. I like probably more than 10 years ago now. I met my first like proper boyfriend off like, I think it was plentyoffish.com.
Really?
Imagine if someone used that now, they'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I feel like that's quite interesting because I feel like 10 years ago, I don't think dating apps were like
online
dating was
weren't.
that like mainstream.
That's my age showing again.
No, so hey, listen. Well, I feel because I'm 30 as well.
Oh, okay.
So I'll probably say, yeah. I'm trying to think. When did it? I mean, I haven't used apps that much just because you know, as an actor, I meet people through like set or on stage all the time, so I'm always meeting new people. But I'm trying to think. It really has become mainstream. I think just before COVID, and then COVID just solidified like everyone going online, right?
I've got a few friends that have had like met on Tinder and like have got married and stuff there. So it's not always. I think it's got a reputation of like a hookup kind of thing. But there's people I know that have been in like long-term relationships. So
yeah. I mean, more than 50% of couples now, like new couples, meet online. Yeah. At least in the West.
That probably doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was always like using online websites years ago. That's how a few of my first relationships started. So
okay.
And then I started meeting people in person.
And you're like, what's this? I'm not used to this.
So I feel like I didn't really need to go on that, but yeah.
Yeah. Why? How come? Because you know, guys look at you're attractive women. You said you used to model and stuff like that. So they would ask, especially back then, why are you focusing mainly online as opposed to just like meeting people, whatever? Because you know, people would assume you'd get attention anyway.
Yeah, good question. I decided to first go online to date when I was 18 years old. Um, I think I'd just kind of broken up with my boyfriend who we met in like school. So and I was like, you know what? I want someone completely different. I want someone at least 10 years older, so I'm gonna go online.
Okay, so you were like deliberately looking for an older man,
Well, like,
and you're like, I'm not around older men, so I need to find an. That's fair enough. That
I
makes
wasn't
way
gonna
more
meet
sense.
him at the student night, the student bar or something, or wherever I was going at the time. I was like, you know what? Let's go online. Let's create a whole profile. And then you get to just see like a whole profile. It's amazing. It's like giving someone a CV.
It's someone's dating CV. That's what profiles are.
Yeah, I know they're a bit shorter now, obviously with Tinder. They're just like they're not. But yeah, back in the day, it was it was like paragraphs and paragraphs.
Oh wow! Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. I guess I feel like guys wouldn't have read that much. They'd just be like, oh, if she's attractive, match, and then I'll find the rest later.
I didn't do that many paragraphs on mine, but the people that I like messaged, I was about to say like matched with.
Yeah.
The people that I messaged, they had like, lengthy profiles.
Okay.
Maybe that's what attracted me. I really
No, makes sense. Sense. And what was it about wanting an older man for you? Why was that a thing?
I just kind of looked at the guys around and thought, imagine how like better they'd be in 10 years time. They'd be just like, know who they are a bit more, you know, just have their life, they have their shit together. Have their shit together.
It's so, do you know what's so weird? Like I remember like when I was in my early 20s, like 21, 22 and stuff, and career to start and everything like that. I remember I met a few girls who were like a few years older than me. We dated for a little bit, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, kid, I can't wait to see like what when you're 30." And I'm like, "What's wrong with me now? What's wrong with me now?" But it's weird as you get older, like you get it, in terms of because the things that make guys attractive, they tend to acquire over time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And no, I do definitely know what you mean. The thing is as well is when I was like 18, 19, I was looking for like a serious relationship. I was never into anything casual anyway. So I feel like you kind of, if they're, obviously maybe when I was 18, I was going with someone late 20s, early 30s or something. They're probably past that stage where they want to mess around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So, did you ever have that stage yourself where you just wanted to have fun?
No.
Never. What do you think?
Boring.
I was going to say, what do you think about? Because I think a lot of people nowadays definitely go through that. A lot of guys, but definitely a lot of girls as well. I think that's more common for both men and women. What do you think about this kind of hookup culture in terms of just casually sleeping with people?
You know what? I wish I could be that person who has fun like that, but I need a very strong emotional attachment. That's the way I've always been. So but completely like. I think people should be able to do what they want. And if people like doing that, then, more power to them.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think your way is the best and healthiest way for most people, especially for women.
Yeah.
Especially for women, because I think there are a lot of women out there who don't like this casual hookup culture and they want that emotional intimacy and connection.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women I've spoken to, when they've been engaging a lot of just casual sex with a lot of guys, a lot of the time it's coming from trying to fill a void, so it's not coming from a healthy place.
Yeah, I could probably see that.
Not everyone, there's probably exceptions to the rule.
Yeah,
but I think for a lot.
Yeah, I do think like I maybe have had like one night stands before, but they all end up being my boyfriend.
Okay. So the guy's like, yeah, this is going to be fun. And then they're like, oh no, I need to keep this girl around.
And then they get locked in. I didn't view it as a one night stand. I was like, yeah, this is going to be my next boyfriend. They probably thought this is a casual thing. And then, that's something I'm proud of.
Yeah, that's the right. Well, I mean, I think a lot of girls want to know what's the secret to that, Kate? How did you do that?
I don't know. Just pick the right man. I mean, like, I feel like people that sounds really simple. Just pick the right man. Yeah. But, I feel like people are consistently picking the wrong man. Like, again, the same issue is happening. Like, oh, they have commitment issues. That's what they say.
Yes.
Like, how is that happening to you 4 or 5 times now? I just think you need to pick better man.
Pick better guys.
That sounds harsh. Sorry.
No, I agree with you.
Good judgment.
I agree.
Comes from bad judgment as well.
Sure, so, if you learn from it.
If you learn from it.
What do you think? When you say girls picking the wrong kind of guys, what do you think they're choosing for that's not helping them?
Say that. What do you think they're choosing for?
Yeah. So you know how you like, because obviously if you've been picking good men, you're probably choosing for different reasons than what they're choosing for.
Okay, so one thing about me which is quite different. I'll try not to go off too much here because I tend to do that a lot.
That's right.
I've when I was younger, like my friends we'd go out, 18, 19-year-old girls. They'd be attracted to these guys, and I would never like be attractive to the stereotypically attractive man. These people on Love Island, I'd look at everyone and be like, I just don't feel attracted to them. I actually thought at one point that I was like asexual and I wasn't attracted to anyone.
Yes.
But so I was that was a bit of a blessing for me because if someone's very attractive, they're going to be in demand more, let's be honest.
Sure. Very true. Very true.
And my friend, like my best friend from Australia, she's so funny because we became friends when we were like 20. And she used to say to me like, I love going out with you because we have the same taste in alcohol and the opposite taste in men. You would never be interested in anyone that I would be interested in. And my friends would always joke, like when we'd go out and be like 18, 19, like they'd be like chatting up guys at the bar and I'd be like at the back talking to some 35-year-old random guy who no one else is approaching.
Well, I mean, like, you're the one who've always had relationships. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in a long-term relationship. So obviously you've been doing something right. So what is it about what kind of guy did you find yourself drawn to? Like the 35-year-old in the back who nobody was talking to. Why him over the 22, 23-year-old studs who go on Love Island?
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me, honestly.
It's not not anything wrong. It's obviously worked for you, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's just an economics thing.
Just wants a man with money.
They're less in demand than, I don't know. I'm not sure. I just naturally always went that way.
Yeah. So. I mean, no, fair enough. Do you think, did you ever find your taste in men change as you got older, or has it stayed pretty consistent?
It has stayed literally consistent, which is so funny because my friends when I was younger were like, as if you're actually dating these guys. And I look back and I'm like, yeah, I still think they're attractive. What are you talking about?
So do you find them physically attractive or is it something about them?
If someone's, it's so concerning for me because honestly, like.
Concerning. She's like, I need help.
Yeah, literally. Some guy could like, I could have no attraction to him whatsoever. And then I get to know him and something clicks. And then I'm like, all for him. He's like a 10 out of 10 to me. You could literally be a solid 2 out of 10.
I think that's the best way, personally. Yeah. I think that's the best way, honestly. Because I think too many of us actually do choose based on the surface level. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there should be a level of attraction. Men are very visual in comparison to women. Not that women don't care about looks at all, but I think men are more visual in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ultimately, when we get to know someone and their character, that's where I think we should be drawn to someone because of, sure, maybe visually we're like, oh, okay, they take my fancy. But then the actual attraction should come from who they are as a person, how you connect with them, what you like about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because I think it's like, we can see people who, I'm sure we know people like, oh, objectively, I can see this person's attractive, but I'm not attracted to them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can see why people will find some people attractive, but they've always just got to have something about them. For me personally, that's the way my brain works.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, that's great. You had something that you had some things you want to talk about, ask questions about, bring to the conversation. So what did you want to bring to the conversation today?
Oh yeah, what will I bring to the conversation? What goes through a man's mind when he fancies a woman? Because I've always wanted to know, because when it goes through like a woman's mind, it's like, what's it like as a man when someone like fancies someone?
Okay.
You know what
well,
I mean?
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, I'll share and then you have to share for the guys. So I'm just gonna be completely real. The first thing guys think about is, what would it be like to sleep with her?
Really?
That's the first thing they think about. And then if they think about that and they go, I like that, they go, I like her. And then if they think about it and go, I don't know if I'd like that, then I'm like, okay, cool, I don't. So if he fancies her, it's like, oh wow.
So is that like physical? Is it physical attraction? Is it visual? Is it about the face or the body or a bit of everything, or the personality? What is it? Is it purely visual?
It'd start with the visual, and in terms of face or body, it'd be everything. So it could be. Oh, I can't say that. It would be like, okay, guys will see girls and be like, okay, cool, she's pretty in the face and she's got a normal body, or it'd be like, okay, she's normal in the face, but she's got a banging body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So guys find different kinds of women attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, some people have a type and preference, but yeah, it's the visual, like, because the truth is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think for a woman, even if she doesn't find a guy attractive, you said yourself,
Yeah.
if she gets to know him,
Yeah.
that attraction can come.
But does that ever happen with a man?
No.
No. So they'll just know instantly if they like you or not.
If they find you attractive, for sure.
And it's based on physical attraction, you
Yes.
reckon? Always.
Yes.
He wouldn't like meet someone and be like, she's not attractive, but you know, she's really good at science and I love science. Does that not happen?
No, if he meets a girl who is like, I don't find her attractive, but she's an amazing person, that's a friend.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought that. I feel like a woman can always like maybe like learn to love a man, but like the with a man, it's like, no, he knows in the beginning.
Yeah, I think generally, and tell me what you think about this, but I think generally speaking, women have a longer list than men do in terms
Of requirements,
right? And men's list is very short.
Really?
Yeah.
What's on it?
I would say generally it's that he finds her attractive,
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of men like a feminine woman, and that she respects him.
Yeah.
Right? I'd say those are like major. If she's feminine, if he finds her attractive, she respects him, and she can be his piece, he'd be like,
she can be his piece. Are you sure?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, for a relationship, yes. For a long-term relationship, yeah. But, and being peace just means she doesn't bring drama to his life. Like, she doesn't bring unnecessary drama.
I
That's
feel
what
like
that means.
some men just love crazy bitches, though. Is that not the case?
I think those girls are very stimulating, but I don't think they work out long-term.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas I think for women, it's like, okay, well, some women like, he has to be tall, has to be good looking, has to earn a certain amount, has to be this age, has to be socially intelligent, has to be funny, emotionally intelligent. So there's a long list, right? So there's pros and cons to both. For guys, because the list is so short, right, and it's not that many things, it can be quite easy to be desirable as a woman, because most men would sleep with most guys. Most men would sleep with most women.
Yes.
Right? But it means that if one of those things aren't there, it's not happening. Right? Whereas for women, the pro of this is that, okay, if you're a guy, sure, you may not be super confident, but maybe you are super intelligent. And so her attraction can come there. So if he's lacking in one thing, he can make up for it in other things.
Absolutely.
Right? But obviously the con is that to be a quote unquote desirable man to women, there's a lot of things you have to tick off.
Really? Do women really care about height that much? Is that a thing?
I hear it a lot.
Because I don't know. I'm not sure.
I hear it a lot. And it's like, I don't know why, but it's like, oh, like there's an obsession about him being 6 foot and above.
I know, right?
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, most women are like, most of y'all are like under 5'7".
Yeah, my friends are like, I'd never go near him if he was like less than 6 foot. And if they see on a dating website, they're like, well, he obviously lied, so you have to kind of take 3 inches or something.
You have to take 3 inches off?
Or something like that. If they say they're like 6'3", they're actually 6.
Yeah, guys do. Oh, would they say, I feel like above a certain height, he wouldn't need to lie about it.
Yeah, true. Maybe not like 6 foot. Maybe it was like, he says he's 5'7" on the app, then he's actually 5'4".
Yeah, I think, because I talk to guys like this, I think if a guy says he's 6 foot, he's probably not.
Yeah,
he's probably a bit under.
Yeah.
If he says he's like 6'2", 6'3",
then
I reckon he's telling the truth. I'm biased. I'm 6'2", but I feel like above a certain point, like you can't say you're 6'2", and you're 5'11". That's like way too obvious that you're not. Like the gap is too much. She'd be like, you're not really. But just a couple of inches, you can fluff it. I feel guys would. But guys also do assume something with girls in terms of online dating as well.
What's that?
As in, they always assume she's a little bit less attractive than what they see.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
yeah.
This is the thing, like men would usually look better in person.
Yes.
And women.
Because we're terrible at taking photos. I don't know what it is.
When you see a woman on a like dating website, dating website, on those apps, those
Yeah.
Tinder, what the kids use.
Yeah.
It's like the best you'll probably possibly like. You know, I actually said like years ago, if I'm ever single, I'm gonna go on one of those apps like Tinder, and I'm gonna put the worst photos of me online on the app.
You'd still get loads of matches.
Still,
though.
really.
Yeah.
And then they'll meet me in real life, and it'll be way better. And they'll be like, "What's going on?"
That's the best way to be.
I know. Wouldn't that be really funny?
That'd be the
A
best
social
way.
experiment that I've never done. That
Yeah.
would be fun. I don't think I'd get many matches though. I can do some really bad photos. Don't they just do this? They're like just swipe everyone. Is it a numbers game? Yes. Is that actually how it is? It's just a numbers game
for a lot of guys. Yeah, yeah. Because most guys struggle. Most guys don't get matches.
Really?
Yeah, like most guys really don't get attention from women at all, or any interest from women.
Oh god.
Yeah, like with your friends, I feel like you're a bit of an anomaly. But let's say with your friends, right? Out of 50 random guys that they see out and about, old, young, fat, slim, all colors, creeds, backgrounds, right? How many of those 50 do you think they look at and they go, oh, I think he's really attractive. I want to go on a date with him out of 50?
Probably not a lot.
Like 3, 4, 5, maybe. Most women are like that. Most women out of 50 guys, maybe 5. They'd be like, I give him a chance. But the caveat is that the same 5 guys Jessica would choose are the same 5 guys Sarah would choose, are the same 5 guys Taylor would choose, are the same 5 guys Becky would choose. So you get a very small percentage of men getting all the matches and getting all the attention from women. And most men really don't get anything.
Oh, that's
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then if they're with you, then they could get some attention with you because they don't have to be this 6-foot Greek god. Do you know what I mean? Let me ask you, so what goes through a woman's mind when she fancies a man? What makes a woman fancy a man? And then what goes through her mind?
Well, for me, it's all about personality. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone else feels. I think a lot of my friends are just physically attractive if they've got like muscles and, you know, if they're like that. Then,
yeah. Have you ever looked at a guy just visually and been like, oh, he's a bit of me? Has that never happened to you?
Oh, I don't think so, you know.
Wow.
No, it's so weird.
No, I probably think that's probably really good.
My friends have been like, look at this guy, it's insane. And I'm like, is he? All of my friends will be like, look at this guy I'm dating, he's so fit. And I'm like, are you sure?
You're like, I don't know. You're like, what's his calculus like? Can he do algebra? That's what I care about.
Saying that, like, when I was younger, like, I used to, like, show my ex-boyfriends, pictures of my ex-boyfriends to my friends, and they're like, you cannot be serious. Is this a joke? And I'm like, I was really attracted to him, and I still find him really attractive. They'd think I was taking the piss. It'd be like, I run a joke.
Wow.
And then, like, my friend at work, you know, it's like, look at this. Guess if Kate dated him or not. It's like, yeah, no, surely not. This guy, yeah, no. It's so funny.
That's brilliant. Have you ever dated a guy that was conventionally attractive?
Yeah, I have actually.
Did you find him attractive when you saw him?
No, it's about personality again. It didn't develop for like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, so what makes you give a guy a chance?
I just think when I get to know him, and I just see what he's all about, basically.
But I guess how would you get to know him if you don't go on dates with him?
Work.
Is it as in like meeting at work, you mean?
Yeah, well, the people you have to meet in real life. Yeah, work is always a good one because you spend a lot of time with these people. So
very true.
You're like indirectly going on dates with them.
Very true. You are getting to know them.
Right? A lot of people meet at work.
That is true.
Obviously, I used to work at loads of events. Like I used to be like a grid girl and stuff. So I was constantly going to all these amazing events.
Yeah.
So I met a few people there. Yeah.
Okay. So what goes through a woman's mind or girl's mind when she fancies a guy?
Oh God, there's like nothing or everything. It's so funny because it's happened to me before. Like a guy's tried to get me for like months and I've just not give it a chance. And one day I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I really like this guy. I'm like planning our future right now. It's crazy.
What was
obsessed,
that?
Nothing or obsessed.
What was that switch?
I don't know. When it's actually so funny. So I was in a relationship with an American guy for like 4 years. Yeah. We broke up back in 2020 or something. And he I met him at a summer camp, like work. And I knew he was walking up, like he was in front of me. We're on like a group tour, and he was walking way ahead of me. And I could see him start walking like backwards, talking to me. And I was like, oh, here we go, some stereotypical American guy who's like, I think he was a year or 2 years older than me or something.
Yeah.
Is about to come and try and hit on me.
Yeah.
He asked me like, where are you from? And I was like, you wouldn't know it. And then he like befriended loads of these people that I live with, because we lived in this international house, and he was always there. Apparently I was really rude to him. And then he told me one day that he wanted to be an astronaut, and he was like in Mensa. And another story, but I'm totally sidetracking here, but there was like 15 years ago, there was this program called Mars One, and if you applied for it, you could go on like a one-way trip to Mars to colonize Mars.
That was 15 years ago.
It was about 15 years ago, 10 years. No, probably about 15 years ago.
Wow, okay.
No, wait, how old? Maybe about 12 years ago.
Okay.
I think I was about 18. So maybe, yeah, a bit more. Maybe 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, so this program didn't happen. This thing didn't happen anyway. And I applied for it. I didn't even get shortlisted. No. And he told me he applied for it. And I was like, oh my God, you applied to go to Mars. So did I. And then I was like hooked. I was like in love.
Wow.
It was so bizarre. And the like switch like flipped like that, and I was like from nothing to everything. Like I was like, this guy,
this is my man. Yeah. This is my person. This is my forever.
Just because we clicked on something so bizarre.
Like, we're gonna go to Mars and colonize it together.
Like I've got a thing about space as well, so you know.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, if you're watching.
Yeah. Fair play. I love space too.
That's such a weird quirk though, but it's just, I feel like it's very rare that you meet someone that applies to go to Mars, and you did.
Yeah, like a one-way trip. Yeah, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah, I know.
That's huge. So for a lot of girls, if they fancy a guy, they're already planning the wedding, the family, the life, all of that.
That's like me. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I feel like a lot of people do get a bit obsessed, especially in the early stages.
Yeah, I feel like I do think a lot of people project early on.
Yeah.
As in, they'll meet someone. I think, not that guys can't do it, but I think girls do it more, just because I've met a few women who have said, oh, you know, from date 2, they were already thinking about him as her husband and the kids and where they're going to live and all of this stuff. And he's just thinking, oh, wow, we've had a couple of really nice dates. And she's like, you know.
Oh, that can definitely happen.
He's on the next page. She's almost finished writing the book.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's just how they keep their cool at that point. You don't want to come off as desperate.
Yeah.
So you've really got to be a bit of an actress, to be honest.
That is true. I didn't realize how much women did. I did have one guy who, I think it was like the second week, I think when we went on a third date, and she was like, yeah, so when are we making this official? I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. It's a bit intense.
I was like, I just met you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of women do that, to be honest. There's like straight away, like, you know, are you going to commit to me? Like, you know, what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, after a certain period of time, for sure.
Do some reverse psychology. Tell him you don't want a relationship and he'll try and change your mind.
Oh, I hear that. I don't know if that works. I think that's music to guys' ears. When a girl's like, oh, shit, I'm not looking for a relationship, a guy's like, oh my gosh, yes.
No, I totally disagree with you. He'll be trying to change your mind. Tell him you don't want anything serious. He'll be trying to change your mind.
Have you done that before?
You don't want it. Yeah.
And wait, so he wasn't looking for anything serious. And then you said, I'm not looking for anything serious. And then he was like, no.
I said, I don't want a boyfriend. I definitely don't want a boyfriend. 100%.
And then he was like, now you have one.
Well, now he's got to work to change my mind, and he's done it. He's succeeded.
Wow. Was that your current boyfriend?
No, this is someone else.
It's someone else. Wow. I mean, not that I don't believe your experience, but I would not tell women to do that.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the reason I say that is because...
Listen to him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe it just worked for me.
They probably... I mean, to be fair, I think it's actually more credit to who you are as a person in terms of your character, because you said you didn't want anything serious, but that's not why he was like, I want to be with you. It's because he obviously got to know you and he was like, oh, she's actually like an amazing person.
Yeah, maybe it was that. Yeah, maybe it was that.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to you know, tricking him psychologically, just playing his mind against him. What's something else you want to ask? You want to ask?
What do I want to ask? Okay. Obviously Instagram models, I can be a bit of one of them. Apparently, I don't think I'm that much of an Instagram model. I haven't got that many followers.
You are. If you see her social media, the guys will stalk you. You're an Insta You're like an Instagram model, yeah.
Yeah. What do guys see when they see my Instagram? That's what I want to know, because I've heard very mixed reviews. What goes through a man's mind when he sees an Instagram girl of someone quite provocative, or looks not provocative, but risque kind of photos,
So first off, especially today, they'll just assume you have OnlyFans.
Yeah. Or like a
because they'll be like, okay, she's like, because so many girls have OnlyFans today.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
And a lot of like girls who have a big following online who post very sexually provocative stuff, it's because they're marketing for their OnlyFans. Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of guys would definitely assume that.
I get so many messages like, what's your secret OnlyFans? I know you have one. And I'm like, I don't. I genuinely don't. People presume I must have one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's the first thing. It's just because a lot of girls who have those kind of profiles do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
What else do they think? I think they usually do obviously assume that your DMs is flooded, which is probably the case. That they do think that if you have photos of like you in like exotic locations and everything like that, that you've got some kind of sugar daddy or some rich guy has flown you out and all of this stuff. They do assume that. Yeah.
I was at this really nice spa like a year and a half ago. I took my boyfriend for his birthday.
Yeah.
And then some guy messaged me like, come on, show us your sugar daddy. We know he's funding it. And I literally like print screen the bank statements and the invoice. And I was like, you motherfucker piece of shit. I paid for everything.
I paid for it myself. Now I have a question though.
Yeah.
How many photos do you have on your Instagram?
So many.
Have you posted?
Do I have so many? Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah. Have you posted any with your boyfriend?
No.
Why not? Because that's intentional.
Oh, God.
Let's be real.
I've posted him on stories before.
Girls always say this. I posted him on my stories.
He was on a reel that I posted. He was definitely on a reel.
What, from like 7 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years. But why haven't you? Because let's be real, that's intentional, right?
No, I don't think it is.
That's not intentional? I don't believe you.
Because why would I want to put him on my Instagram? It's like keeping privacy, It's just me. I don't even post that many of my friends on my Instagram. Why do you think it's intentional? That's what I want to know.
Because part of your marketing is the illusion that you are available. So guys will follow you and I was going to say subscribe to your OnlyFans, but you don't have an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Just give it away for free.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But obviously, if you post yourself with a guy, it destroys the fantasy of getting thirst, attention, validation from guys online. Which is why a lot of girls who have OnlyFans have boyfriends, but no one knows.
Yeah.
But you don't have OnlyFans, so I guess I'm asking like, why? Is there a particular reason why?
I don't think he'd want me to post him, honestly. My ex-boyfriend actually did say, and all his friends wondered why I never posted him. And I said to him once, probably shouldn't have said this. I said, if I posted you, I'd probably lose 2,000 followers. So
you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Why do you think you would lose 2,000 followers?
Because they want to see you. They don't want to see you with a man.
Who's there? What demographic is this?
My, I don't know, 80%.
Male audience.
Yeah.
Horny male audience. Yeah.
Yeah, you trapped me here. I officially can't.
Hey, let's just be real. Let's just
it can be about business though. It can really be about business. Like, do you know what I mean?
Why would that affect business?
Because like, I guess so the more followers you get, the more you can charge like brands if you work with brands and stuff. So there is that angle as well. Do
you think a brand wouldn't work with you because you're in a relationship?
No, I don't think that at all. But like, I guess you'll get more followers if they just see pictures of you. Do you know what I mean? If you start posting your boyfriend, then
okay. So you get more male followers, which help the numbers, which then helps get brands.
Yeah.
So when you already knew,
and also like
you're a smart woman, you get it. You already know.
I think I subconsciously knew it, and I just brought it to the surface.
It's what I do, guys. I uncover the truth. I uncover.
Very disappointing.
I love you're like, I just keep my life private. No, it's because having thirsty male followers helps me get brand deals and I want them to stay.
Yeah, you've nailed it on the head right there. Congratulations.
That's all right. Hey, you got to play the game.
I'm gonna post my boyfriend tomorrow.
You're gonna post it. If you post it, I'll like it for you. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to find commitment nowadays from women you speak to, girls in your circle, etc.?
Yeah. A lot of my friends say it's just hard to find someone who wants to commit 100%.
Okay. Why do you think it's harder today?
Why it's harder for men to commit? There's just so many options and it's so easy. It used to be such a thing, like you'd have to go create a profile like me, like, you know, get verified or something. Yeah, do a whole bio and then physically message people after reading their profile. Now it's just like, you know, you can get a date in the next 2 hours if you download Tinder. Do you know what I mean?
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
That's honestly, that's the experience for, I would say,
I guess
more women.
Yeah.
But for men, for that's a very small percentage of men. Like less than 3% of men can do that. Like, and I would argue the majority of men are just good, decent, normal guys who want a relationship. But most men cannot just like, okay, I'm just going to match with a girl and sleep with her tonight. Like most guys, they can't. That is not their experience at all. For girls, it's so easy. Like, and no disrespect, but you don't even have to be that attractive as a woman for you to have that experience.
Yeah, I guess I was a bit oblivious before you brought this up today. Just being a woman. Like, you know, it must be easy for everybody.
There's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Being a guy and being a girl, I'd say, in terms of like the dating marketplace, if you will.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But no, why wouldn't men want to commit? That's a good question. I think it's women as well. So a lot of women don't want to commit now, maybe.
Do you think a lot of women don't want to commit anymore as well?
Yeah, I think it's maybe both. But I'm really not sure on the answer. Have you got an opinion that would be good of why they don't want to commit?
Why, guys or girls?
Yeah, both.
Girls, I think, I'll start with the ladies first. I think if a girl doesn't want to commit, it's because she feels she can do better. I think if she came across a guy that she's like, this is my guy, as in like, this is the kind of guy I've always seen myself with,
okay,
she would commit. I don't think she'd be like, oh, I found the kind of guy I want to be with, but I'm going to pause it here because I think we know how selective and picky women are in comparison to men. So if you come across that 1 in 50, 1 in 100 guy in the past 3 years, like you're gonna take that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Guys, more guys want to commit, but the guys who are really desirable, less so. Partly, I think, for a few reasons. One, I think that if he's not in a place to settle down and he's the kind of guy who has a level of optionality and abundance with women, there's no real incentive for him to commit to one woman.
Yeah.
Because if a guy's not looking to build a family and legacy at that stage in his life, a lot of the time, the best deal for him is to have his freedom, but he can still have a level of sexual variety.
Yeah.
So if he can be sleeping with 1, 2, 3, 4 women, but he doesn't have to commit to any of them, and he can always be open to making new connections with others, he's going to do that. You know, if he's the kind of guy who's desirable enough to do that, until he's ready to settle down or just have one person. And then, you know, time is quite important for guys, I'd say. And I'd say the other thing is, and I'm just speaking on behalf of the men, what they say, they would say less women are girlfriend material nowadays.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What makes them less girlfriend material?
I think, and I'm just speaking what a lot of guys say, I think a lot of women come to guys with demands, like you have to be this, 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 you have to do this, this, this for me. If you don't, that's the bare minimum. right? And so I think it comes across as very entitled because guys are like, okay, so what are you doing? Like, how are you adding to my life? Like, I'm bringing all this, what you adding to my life? So I think a lot of guys, and I think, and I say this with guys, that's not every woman, but I think there's a correlation between how attractive she is by Instagram conventional standards to the level of what she expects from the man. Because she'll be getting so much attention, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm sure you've had this guy's offering to fly you out
It's
to
crazy.
to Dubai, to China, whatever,
Yeah.
purely because you're an attractive woman. Like, we have so much access now. If you have a girl who's used to that so much, and then you have this normal, decent guy, right? Let's say he's attractive and he's like, hey, like, I'd like to get to know you. Why don't we like grab a coffee and go for a walk? She'll be like, grab a coffee and go for a walk. I have 10 guys trying to fly me out. I have the Arabic prince wanting to buy me a tiger. Like, why would I accept that? Do you know what I mean? And so I think for a lot of guys, it can come across because of access, a lot of women have been spoiled with offers and favors purely because of, and they don't realize this. They think it's because he really wants me. It's like, nah, he just wants to sleep with you, like, a lot of the time. But because they've been spoiled with that, I think their expectations have gone up in terms of what they expect a man to bring. And so guys are like, well, I'm not a rich Arabic prince. Also, if I'm bringing some things, like, do you not want to reciprocate in some other way as well? I think that's what guys say. And then the other thing is, you know, because it's much more difficult to be desirable as a guy today, because, you know, there's like a list, right? Because the average guy could get a girlfriend. Like 30 years ago, the average guy could get in a relationship with the average girl. He can't do that anymore because the average girl is indulging sexually with above average guys. And so for her, she wants that guy, right? So the average
What do you
guy
mean, like, with above average guys? Like, what do you mean?
So how can I say this? Okay, I don't like to use these numeric ways of saying it, but you like numbers, so I'm going to do it because you'll get it. You know how people will rate people out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of attractiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking purely attractiveness, not character, personality, just on looks. So when guys are just looking for sex, they lower their standards.
Yeah.
So a guy who's an 8 out of 10,
mm-hmm.
he would only really get in a relationship with a girl who's also an 8 or above.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe a 7. But a guy who's an 8 out of 10 would sleep with a girl who's a 5 or 6, but he would never commit to her.
Yeah, I can see that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think a lot of women think guys date the same way they do, in a sense. Not all, but I think for a lot of women, tell me what you think. If they would be physical with a guy, they would at least consider him for a relationship. Like, he's at least a contender.
Yeah.
And then maybe because of his personality, maybe because he's not in a good place in life at the moment, maybe she's like, okay, those things is what disqualifies him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if she would be physical, if she would sleep with him, then she would be open to the potential. And a lot of girls think guys date that way, and they don't. They don't. There are some girls that guys just go, well, this is just physical. It doesn't matter how amazing she is. This is just physical. And so that's what I mean. Women can use sex to get access to guys who wouldn't actually consider them for a relationship. And men can use money to do that with women. Like, men can use money to get access to women who would never normally consider them.
Women control access to sex. Men control access to marriage.
That's very true. That's exactly it. So, and that's because we have all this access now.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have an average girl, again, out of 10, technically average is 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's average. That's the middle. So if you have a girl who's a quote unquote 5 sleeping with guys who are 7s and 8s, a lot of times she goes, oh, that's my standard. That's where I am in this marketplace landscape or whatever. And so the average guy who's also a 5, maybe even a 6, seems unattractive now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, to be honest. That makes sense.
And I think, like I said, guys can use money and attention to kind of bat out of their league, so to speak, but there are less wealthy rich men who can just afford to do that. Do you know what I mean? But there's a lot of men who will take easy sex from women they wouldn't consider. And so this happens a lot. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice to say, but it's true. And this is why one of the things I always say to women is being able to recognize the difference between sexual attention and romantic intention. You know, is a guy just interested in you for the physical, or is he actually investing in you and getting to know who you are and spending that quality time with you?
How do you tell that difference though? How can you tell someone's intentions?
Does he spend time with you where sex is off the table? Really, that's it. If you ask yourself that question, it'll be very clear whether the guy you're dealing with is actually into you or just indulging in you. And there's a very big difference. So like coming over Netflix and chill, if those are all your dates, Netflix and chill dates, you don't know if he's investing in you. You don't know if he's serious about you. But can he meet with you for lunch where you go separate ways after? So, oh yeah, let's grab lunch. And then, you know, you're going to go do something else. Or, oh, let's go to this gallery. You know, let's look at the art, let's chat about it. You know, we can see each other, get to know each other a bit, and then you go separate ways. That's a guy actually investing in you. Because men and women invest differently.
Okay, I'll do that. So
women invest with their sexual time, but men invest with their non-sexual time.
Oh. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like this is a scenario I always give. Which girl is this guy taking seriously in this scenario?
Okay.
The girl who he spends a weekend with, right? They go on walks together, play board games together, maybe they read together. But maybe nothing physical actually happens, but they spend that time together. Or the girl that he goes around her house Friday night, they have sex, and he leaves the following morning.
Obviously the first one.
Exactly. Now, if we switch it, which guy is this girl taking seriously? The guy that she spends the weekend with, maybe he helps her move some furniture, right? Maybe they, you know, grab a coffee and stuff, but nothing physical happens. Or the guy that she goes around his house Friday night, they spend the night together, right? They sleep together, and then she leaves the following morning.
Which one is the girl taking more seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. The latter.
Yeah. The guy she sleeps with, right?
That's so funny. Yeah, that's really funny. You know, one of my friends like years ago, she her and this guy she was seeing, they'd had sex and stuff, and then he kind of just like parred her off, it felt like. And then he got back to her like 3 months later. He texted her and she told me, and I was like, you know, go on a date with him, it's great, but do not have sex with him. Do not have sex with him. I don't care what you have to do. Don't drink, just don't do it. And she had sex with him and he parred her off again. I was like, are you serious?
Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think men can just see if they have access to you a lot of the time. Maybe is it an ego boost? I don't really know.
It definitely validates him, yeah.
Yeah.
Because women are the gatekeepers to physical intimacy, her saying yes is not an investment in her, it's a yes to him. It's a validation to him that he's the kind of guy who can get women, right, physically. But him saying, I commit to you, that's validation for you as the woman.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Him getting on one knee proposing, that's validation. Because like, wow, he wants to commit his life to me, commit to me, all of this stuff. But yeah, I guess you've never had that issue though. You never had that issue.
No, I did. I actually think I was in this situation once, where I do think the guy I was with, was just kind of invested in that way sexually. Yeah. So I blocked him, and then
so I killed him. He's now dead.
And then he emailed me for like 6 months, and then he was ready for a relationship. Then
he emailed you.
Yeah.
He emailed you.
He emailed me.
What did he say in the email?
You know, let's go get sushi. Let's go do this. I'm sorry. He, you know, sent flowers to my house.
I have a feeling that you are quite like you can switch and be like, I am so about you, but you can be cutthroat and be like, once you've decided that now I'm done, like that person is dead to you.
It takes a lot of willpower. and I just think maybe more women need to have a bit more willpower.
Sure.
When I cut this person off, I was so in love with him. It was so hard.
Really?
Yeah, we got together. I said, if he emails me for 6 months, I'm going to give him another chance.
Is that what you said?
I gave it 5 months because I was really in love. Do you know what I mean?
So as in, if he emailed you every month for 6 months,
I know people won't agree with this. I think it's a bit.
no, go for it.
If you block someone, you're clearly setting a boundary. But yeah. So he tried to contact me in so many ways, and I would just be like, no, absolutely not. You've wronged me for whatsoever reason. You violated one of my non-negotiables, so we are done.
What was the non-negotiable?
The non-negotiable was basically he said he'd broken up with his he saw his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
okay.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that was the non-negotiable that he violated.
So he did try and get you back though.
Yeah, he did.
And you didn't take the bait. You didn't bite it.
I was done.
Why? So why? Because it sounds like he was trying to do what you said you wanted him to do.
Yeah, I just like second chances. Like, I'm not really sure about them.
That's what I mean. You're cutthroat. It's like second chances. No.
But I wanted, honestly, like it was such a hard 6 months, and I remember that's when I went on Bumble actually. So it was even worse. I went on Bumble, and then no one even wanted to match with me. I was so close to messaging him. I would go out and I wouldn't even drink because I knew if I had a drink, I may message him. Right. It was so much willpower. I was completely in love with this person. And I hold my own. Like, I don't care if you have to cry yourself to sleep at night. Do not text the person. Make sure they learn their lesson. And it got to like 5 months, and I was like, you know what? You've learned your lesson. Let's go on a date. Like, he introduced me to his parents on the date.
Oh, so you did meet with him again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The second date, I was like round his parents' house. He's basically buying us a house. By like week 3, I got everything just by executing that willpower, I think. Do you know what I mean?
If you don't have to say it, is this your current?
Yeah.
Interesting. What did?
Hope he doesn't watch this.
I hope he watches this. What did you learn from that experience?
What did I learn from that experience?
Yeah.
How much self-control I can have, which is just so important. You need self-control.
But also how much self-control serves what you want.
Yeah. But every time I was saying like, oh, I really want to text him, I thought to myself, if I text him, he won't value me. He won't think I'm serious about this. I will ruin it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
So to be honest, like, it's going to be hard if he doesn't text me if he doesn't try and get me back for 6 months. But, if he doesn't try that, he was, not the one for me anyway. So it was incredibly difficult. It really was. But, I just thought if I text him now, and I've had like 2 drinks, and I'm like, yeah, let's go get sushi or something. That's what he always used to ask, like say, let's go for sushi. It was so weird.
Yes.
Then he's just going to think, yeah, I screwed this woman over, and I can just send a few emails and send some flowers.
I just love the emails. I just love that it just seems so emails. Professional.
It's so funny.
Sent me a letter from the HMRC.
Yeah.
With a notice, that's how he got my tax rebate back for me, like all of this stuff. That's so interesting. It's so.
So when my like friends are considering like texting a guy who's like wronged them, I'm like, you're ruining your own. You say you like this person, you're about to ruin everything. Yeah. Because
that self-discipline is important.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's important. How did you get to a point where you could have that level of discipline for yourself? Because obviously it's really served you in more than one ways, but
yeah, I just think like self-control for me is the most important thing ever. Like, I've lacked a lot of self-control like in my life before, and self-control is so important to me now. Okay. So do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that for sure. What's something else you want to ask, Prince Conversation?
Oh, what else do I want to ask?
Yeah, go have a look. I'm thinking self-control, just that self-discipline, it serves so many, just every area of your life.
It is.
Fitness, confidence,
Yeah.
friendships.
And it's such a different story. It's something to do with dating. But when I was like 21, I used to like love casinos and I like go gambling. I literally spent like 20 grand or £21,000 at casinos. And then I had no self-control. I got my student finance and I put it on red. I was like, and it came back and I got it and it was amazing.
That was sick.
I had like literally no self-control. And now I love going to casinos and I like going because it was a reminder for me that like of how much self-control I have. And it's not hard anymore.
Yeah.
I
practice.
I used to smoke years ago, and now I have a cigarette every 3 months, and I have it because I enjoy it, obviously. But it's just a reminder for me that I'm not addicted to nicotine. You know, some people when they give up drinking, they can't be near it. They can't be anywhere near alcohol.
Yeah.
But I don't want that. Like, I want to know that I'm in control.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I respect that. I think that's great. That's great.
But yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, actually, it's about Instagram again. This is such a big one for me.
Go on.
Instagram will attract men. Yeah, they'll love the photos you post online. It attracts
so
them
long as it doesn't have your boyfriend in it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then as soon as you're in a relationship, and this has happened to every single relationship I've been in, it's a problem. What you post is a massive problem.
Oh, for your boyfriend.
Yeah, but it attracted them. Yeah, for like most people.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the story? They're attracted to it, you know?
Okay.
It's actually really funny because like when I fancied my current partner, I was showing him some stuff on my phone once. I don't know, it was something about work or something. And then I was like, oh, I didn't know they were in that folder. It was some of my modeling photos. And it was like some of my Instagram photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it attracted them. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
So. Okay. While it may be something that attracted him, what attracted him isn't that you post sexually provocative stuff. It's that you are attractive.
Okay.
Now, when a guy is, let's say he takes interest in you because you're attractive, he doesn't know whether he wants to take you seriously or casually.
Okay.
If it's just a casual thing, he does not care. Post whatever you want because he's not in a relationship with you anyway. He's not looking to take care of you for the future. He's not investing in you for the future, right? So it's like, we're just having fun. You can post whatever you want. I don't care. But if he gets to know you, it's like, this is the kind of woman I really see myself with. This kind of woman I want to be in a relationship with. That's when he cares. And the reason he cares is because men are naturally sexually territorial over the woman that they are investing in and that they care about.
What does it mean to be sexually territorial?
It means that he doesn't want any other man to have any level of sexual access to you.
Okay.
And part of sexual access isn't just physically, but also you displaying yourself sexually where other men can see.
Okay.
He doesn't want other men to see what he sees Friday night. That's what it is. So it's funny because when I talk to women, I'm like, if you have posted a lot of sexually provocative stuff and you're dating a guy and you've been dating him for several months and he's had no issue with it whatsoever, it's not been a conversation, he's probably not taking you seriously.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a different perspective, isn't it?
Not all guys. Some guys,
yeah.
Like I said, there's some OnlyFans girls who have boyfriends, right? So those guys don't care that their girl is literally selling sex online. But just 9 times out of 10, like a guy is sexually territorial over the woman he cares about and that he's going to invest himself in. That's why.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting perspective I hadn't considered, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think one thing, so for example, a woman can find a guy more attractive when she knows that he has a lot of options with women, right? Because it's like, if other women are choosing him, there's obviously something about him that's quite desirable.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Yeah. I don't get it, but
I feel like people are just dating him because he's got everyone else. So they're like, oh, there must be something about him. Is that the same with women, like if a woman is like desired by a lot of men, would that attract a man or not really?
No, it doesn't really make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference.
Because guys know that some guys will literally fuck anything. That's the truth. Some guys will literally fuck a hole in the wall.
Oh yeah.
So not the same thing. But if a guy having options, or if he's entertaining options, ego, she won't like it, but subconsciously that's attractive because that means he's a desirable catch.
Okay.
But when she wants him and gets with him, she doesn't want him entertaining options anymore, does she?
No.
But that's one of the things that actually made him very attractive to her. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because naturally, when you want him and you're in a relationship, you become territorial over his investment. Like his emotional investment, his time.
Yeah.
And you're like, you don't want him sharing that out with other women. You want that for you. But the fact that he was entertaining multiple women that he can is very attractive. But when she sees yours, you're like, I don't want you to do that anymore. It's exactly the same thing.
So funny.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a perspective I'd never kind of thought about because I just thought like, men see my Instagram when we're, when they fancy me, and it's absolutely fine. And then we're in a relationship and they have a massive problem with it. But, that was me when you first got together with me.
True. I mean, would it be fair for guys to say, well, when you met me, I was sleeping with 3 women. Why do you want me to change? Why?
It's so different. Come on. Sleeping with
Is
people
it?
and yeah.
What's different about it?
Well, you're physically active with people, and on Instagram, you're just posting very nice, empowering images of yourself.
Sure. I guess you could say that with Instagram, you are displaying and showing for thousands, tens of thousands of people. He's only doing that for 3. So actually, maybe Instagram is worse.
Yeah, but one of them is where you're getting physical. One of them is where you're not. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but because men can see sex like going to the gym, where it really doesn't mean anything.
Oh. And for me, like, obviously I did like page 3 and that, so it was my job. Do you know what I mean?
I know,
wasn't
but
doing anything.
100%. But I would say if I was talking to a guy, because sometimes guys come to me as well.
Yeah.
If I was talking to a guy and he's like, oh, like I'm dating this girl, she like posts sexually provocative stuff, and like I want to be in a relationship with her, I wanted to take it down. I'm like, you should not try and be in a relationship with those kind of girls if that's not what you want. Because I agree, I'm not saying that she should change it and stop doing that for him.
Yeah.
But I would say, because if she wants to do that for her relationship, sure, it's going to help her for sure. It's going to benefit her in the relationship. If she doesn't want to because she's already been doing it, right, then that's fair enough. Like, you met her when she was doing it. You can't expect her to change. But then I would say to the guy, then if you're ever going to date this kind of woman, it's only going to be casual. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah. Isn't it like, I'm just going to say something different here. Like,
go for it.
I feel like when I post like sexy photos online, I feel like a lot of men are entitled to think that this is for them. And it's really not. Like, when I, done page 3, like, I honestly thought I look great. It's great that it's in the newspaper. I'm, it's like just embracing femininity. I'm very like, I'm very like happy with my body. What's wrong with showing it off? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think it was for like thirsty men. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. Isn't it a bit entitled to think everything is for men?
So, okay. You said to me earlier that if you posted a picture with your boyfriend, you would lose 2,000 followers.
I didn't say that recently. I said that 3 years ago. Yeah.
Do you think that now?
If I posted a picture with a man, no, I don't think I'd lose that many followers.
Okay. But would you post with your man?
Yeah, I probably would. I don't know if he'd like it, obviously, because he's quite a private person. So I probably wouldn't do it for that reason. I have posted him on stories before. I've posted stuff where you can obviously see I'm with a man. So I'll be at a restaurant and,
sure,
like there's obviously a man here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like flowers on Valentine's Day. It's very obvious that I'm in a relationship, I think.
No, not unless you're posting with someone. Oh,
really?
Yeah, because people buy themselves flowers.
Oh.
A lot of people buy themselves flowers. So earlier you said like, where you know that posting without a man increases your followers and your likes, which helps you get brand deals. So it kind of is for men, because it's the men following you, giving you the likes, giving you a follow, that helps your business. So I'm not even saying it's for your own validation. Some of it might be because it feels good, like people admiring you, being like, she's got a great body, she looks after herself, she's doing all these cool things. Cool. That could be a byproduct, but having men thirsting after you helps you in your business. So when you post that kind of stuff, it kind of is for men.
But no, it's kind of for like brand deals and stuff.
I know, but what I mean is it's for men's attention and follows, which gets you those brand deals. Not that you want all those men to desire you, but you definitely want something from them, because that helps you. So it is for men.
I have to disagree still. I'm just going to keep disagreeing.
What do you disagree about?
Women follow me too. Well, you
told me 8% of your audience is men.
Yeah, it probably is about 80, but like I follow loads of like hot Instagram models on Instagram. I really do.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying women don't follow you, but the reason you have a big following and you can demand what you want for brand deals is because majority of your audience are men who are thirsting after you.
Yeah, that's a fair statement, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because like, and I said, look, like, you're smart enough to play the game. I get it. But you're playing the game.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. It's kind of like, do you know what I think is a really good equivalent? It's kind of like when women go out and they dress very sexy and stuff to like a bar or club.
Yeah. That's not for men. No, it's not.
Hold on.
100% not.
This is what I'm going to say though.
Okay.
It's not because necessarily she wants all these other men, right? But one, subconsciously, we all kind of know if you're a very attractive woman, that gives you status in any social environment, right?
Okay.
Not just amongst women, but amongst men. But also, there are benefits and opportunities that can come from being an attractive woman.
Yeah.
Right? 9 times out of 10, those benefits and opportunities come from men.
How?
Well, as in like, I mean, have you ever had an older woman try to fly you out to Dubai because of your sexy photos?
No.
Exactly.
But I didn't go to Dubai, so you know.
Like, I didn't accept it, but that's what I mean though.
I know, but there's other reasons that being attractive is advantageous. You talked about, you know, higher social status and stuff.
Yeah.
Going for a job interview, for example. I've read this research study, which is a bit concerning, where apparently if you're like a slim like woman, it's like can be more advantageous than having a master's degree or something bizarre. I think it was an American study.
If the interviewer is a man, then probably, yeah.
No, I just think if you look at someone who looks like they take care of themselves. Like,
yeah, we do. Actually, that is true. Actually, I agree.
So one thing I've actually done recently is I've slimmed down quite a bit recently, and kind of tried to get into shape. So I've got like a swimwear brand, and when I obviously go to a trade show or something, I feel like, which would predominantly be women that would be buyers. There'd probably be a few men in the fashion industry, but predominantly women. I think if I'm gonna sell like, you know, swimwear, then if they're going to look at someone and think, if this person's in shape, I kind of want to buy swimwear from them. Is that the right view to have? I don't know.
It's the smart view to have in terms of if you want to sell your products and make your business work. Yeah.
And there's like, I'm launching this company at the minute, Matcha. You know what Matcha is?
Yeah.
It's a health product. Like, so I think for me, like looking the best I can and, you know, being like trim and in shape, and just you look at this person and think, yep, this person really takes care of themselves, you know. Do I want to buy from this person who's selling like basically something that very healthy people have? So I think it can be advantageous in that regard. I don't think it's all for men at all, actually.
So I'm not saying it's all for men. What I'm saying is that a big part of the advantages it gives you, like now using the environments like at a bar or club or like Instagram and stuff like that, getting brand deals because of your following and your likes and stuff like that. What puts you in that power position is men desiring you. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if you were like 10 stone overweight and you didn't look after yourself, right? And you'd have these, and you're posting with you and your boyfriend, you'd have these thirsty guys, you know, after you, You would not get those brand deals. You would not get that attention. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? But like, look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm an actor, right? I train in musical theatre, so I do a lot of like musicals over TV and film and stuff like that. And I remember one of my dance teachers, I won't say, save face for him. No, save face for her. No, it was him. He was like, you know, if you're going in for like a dance call, for example, or something like that, he was like, make them fancy you.
Yeah.
Because if they fancy you, out of like 30 people, they're more likely to watch you. And if they're watching you, they're going to say, oh, there's good enough. They're going to get you to the next round, and then you get the job. And especially because like in musical theatre, like half the guys are gay anyway, in terms of like either casting or director. And even though, you know, there's quite a few big cast directors who are women, like, you know, one woman or two women. And they will bring guys in for like roles and stuff because they're like, this is an attractive guy and he's talented. If he was just talented, they still might bring him in. But if you're attractive and talented, you're definitely going to get in the room.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
sense. So being
sense.
attractive does just give you advantages in all sense. But we're talking about being attractive as a woman. And the reason female beauty is so powerful to put you in certain positions is because it takes other men thirsting after you that elevates your position.
Okay.
And then you take advantage of that for your business and stuff, which is like fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Any one last thing?
Any
one last thing?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think so. Got anything from you?
Okay, I will have one last question for you.
Go ahead.
What is, because I get you saying that for you, it's really about the guy's personality.
Yeah.
If he has intelligence, etc. Would you find a guy, have two guys in front of you, one guy who does look after himself, he's in shape, above average intelligence?
Yeah.
Or you have a guy who's really out of shape, but he is incredibly intelligent? Who are you picking?
Intelligence. 100%.
I respect that.
Because that like attracts me though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really attracts me.
Yeah.
There is something else like I don't think I mentioned it earlier. I've got this thing for, you know, men that I really need in a relationship. I call it if they're combat effective.
So he knows how to fight?
No, not in that way.
Oh.
There can be combat effective and combat ineffective.
Okay.
So let's just give an example. Like, say it's like 10 years from now and I've got like kids with someone and we're at the airport and I've got like two screaming children and we're trying to work something out. I need a man to be able to take control of that situation and fix it right now.
Yes.
Right now. That's what I call combat effective.
Okay. So like leadership.
Leadership attracts me so much. Love a man in charge.
Yeah.
There's just something about leadership that is incredibly attractive. But they can just sort it out. So like I remember I was at a cafe with my boyfriend like recently and I got a matcha, funnily enough.
Nice.
I ordered an iced one and they brought a hot one out and I said, oh, it's meant to be ice. So they just poured it on ice. So it was like a hot matcha on ice. And then he saw it and he just picked it up and went over there and fixed it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even have to say anything. So yeah, I call it combat effective or combat ineffective. I need someone, and I lack common sense a lot of the time. Like I really do. For someone who literally graduated from Harvard, I like my.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you went to Harvard, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I can like have just no common sense. So like working things out can be quite hard sometimes.
Sure.
I need a man to be able to like fix it right now and just whatever's going on. Okay. Can't work out which gate it is to go at the airport or which way it is. I need them to fix it, not get lost with me.
Yeah.
That's
Fair
so
enough.
Important to me.
Yeah.
So important.
I hear that. I hear that for sure.
So yeah.
Listen, we're gonna wrap it there.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on. You know, awesome chat. Thanks for being so open and real. You know, that's always great. If people want to find you and find your thirst traps, where can they find you?
Instagram.com/I am Kate Black X.
Kate Black X. Perfect. And is there anything you're doing that people can look out for?
No, not really. Just being myself.
Just do it. All right. Well, if you've got a brand deal, you know where to find her. But listen, we appreciate you. Thanks for sharing your energy with us today. We appreciate you. Guys, go give her a follow. Go give her a like. All that good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you in the next episode.